I'm the Magpie! And if you are anything like me, which you have led me to believe that you are based on the comment section in a video I did recently, then starting projects, music projects, is something that is super easy for you, but continuing and actually finishing your music is something that you struggle with. So in this video, I want to talk about and I want to show you very practically how I have turned for myself the fact that it's so easy and comes so natural for me to start new projects. I have turned that into a superpower in regards to finishing my music. So it's a technique or process or workflow, but I'm not gonna get like super esoteric or philosophical or any bullshit like that. I'm just gonna show you hands-on a couple of examples and then like try to do something. We're just gonna see the chaos that turns out to be. But I want to say first a little bit of context. So I just released an album very recently called Kind of a One, and hopefully some of you have heard it. And this technique is so utilized in this album. I do it all over the place in a couple of different ways. And I also want to say that I started making these breakdown videos, jumping into Cubase, which is the DAW I use, and just showing you a deep dive into each and every single project, soloing tracks and stuff like that. So this is like one of the techniques where I wanted to make a video turning this idea into this little ball of knowledge that I can play dodgeball with. And perhaps there might be other things that pop up in regards to when I do these breakdowns, like things that I could turn into individual videos. Because it's not fun to play dodgeball with just alone with one ball. And yeah, also when doing that, I realized that I have to transfer all of the projects from my old computer where I created the entirety of Kind of a One to this new computer. There are so many projects. Like here's a folder and all of these projects I'm just in the process of going through. So all of the ones that are called inte, which is not in Swedish, are already discarded. Like I don't want those sounds. So I'm going to put all of those sounds into little stem type folders and I'm going to put that on the Patreon, which is linked in the description. So if you want like a ton of sounds, you're going to get those if you become a Patreon sooner rather than later. But yeah, I can actually tell you right now as a starting point that a thing I do is that every project that I'm working on, I name it the BPM and then the shenanigans working title. Meaning that whenever I have two projects, and this is what I'm gonna do later in the video, whenever I have two projects here, one 93 BPM and 94 BPM, 94, okay, there's a lot. I can super easily, effortlessly squeeze them together, or at least try to squeeze them together. Just pull them into each other. Because time stretching 2 or 3 BPM in any direction, super easy. And in many cases, when I'm working on something, maybe I have like a project that I've been working on for months and it's like, it's missing something, but I have no idea what it is. I just grab all of the files from another project that is in the same BPM, and then maybe just some of those drum sounds that I have worked on in a completely different setting. Wow, they now just elevated this track completely. The way I view it is that whenever I have a ton of working projects, because I start so many, I treat them, one could say, essentially like sample packs rather than anything else. It's like I have all of these divided by BPM sample packs, because I work in a very loopy fashion. So maybe I have just a 4-bar loop in one of the projects, and by just time stretching or pitch shifting a bit, I can make it fit into another setting, and all of a sudden I have music that my brain would have never thought of doing. Like, ooh, that chord progression together with this melody in that project, that I would have never thought of doing that. And now I'm in love with this and I'm going to continue working from this point on instead. So it's something that I do all over the place. And I've brought forth here just a first example of a song that is on the Kind of a One album, which is called Forever After. And this project is comprised out of at least 3 projects. Like 3 projects that I was able to find now where sounds are from. So, for example, all of these crazy drum sounds. And I could show you that technique at some point more in depth, how I make these types of wild drums. All of those, with other of these grey sounds, I believe, are from a completely different project that I just pulled in here now. That sounds nothing like Forever After. It sounds like this. Compare that to... Yeah, and it's a ton of sounds from when it becomes more chaotic here. Like that organ thingy or whatever it is. Well, yeah, it's also a bunch of sounds from a 30 project here, and I could show you how I do it. Like, I have just opened 2 projects, and this, I don't know if you can do this in another DAW, but it's really easy to do in Cubase. So I can just grab all of these sounds now, and I can just put them here in this other project, and then it will just recreate, even with the colors and stuff, but all the things that were originally in the signal chain or whatever in the other project. So it's a very easy way to just pull back and forth and combine projects and stuff. Don't have to save down or anything. And these are like all of the crazy melody, I don't even know sounds, but it's all over. It sounds so different. But I think, where's the... Yeah, over here, like these flute sounds. Let's find it. There, it's still red. Yeah. And that guitar thingy. Just in a brand new context, which turned out to be something I liked a lot more and turned into the finished song. Because yeah, I guess just a handful of work in progress glued together is a finished song. And it's a really fun way to work. But if you've heard my album, you've also heard that many of the songs have like drastic changes, and sometimes I just do that within the original project, but it's something where from time to time, it is basically just going from one project to the next project to the next project, and I do small things to sort of, fix the seams in between, but sometimes not even, because it's just fun if it's drastic and crazy. So I can show you that type of example also. And I mean, I could make a video in regards to songwriting at some point, and how for me songwriting is something that just happens while I am producing the music. Let me know if you relate to that, or if you like sit down and you write a song first and you do a demo and then you start producing it or something. For me, the song is like being chiseled out of the tiny piece of plastic at the same time as I am writing it. Oh yeah, this project here, which is I would if I could but I can't so I won't, is also one of those where I have at least 3 different projects that are just put together. But in this case, I do drastic jumps, so it goes a little bit like this. With just stuff happening. But then down here, you can see this little blob of nonsense where I very much just pulled in a different project. And we can jump forward here. And it's just been pitch shifted a bit and transposed, I don't know, time stretched to fit. So you're gonna notice here soon, and then I can solo some tracks.
At least that's what I've always told. At least that's what I'm always so. I wish I knew just how to play the piano, so everyone could sing along. Instead, I'm stuck here being afraid of you and on and making noises that I'm on.
So all of those sounds are just pitch shifted to fit in the same key, and then it moves over to a third project very drastically here that is produced primarily up here. So I mean, it's very much 3 songs in a song that just becomes a mega song. But I don't want to dive too deep into this one, since I'm doing these complete breakdowns. I want to talk more about it then. Just wanted to show you that this is very much possible. However, if I am to show you sort of how it can work when I look, if I just open a folder and look here, both of those are 86 BPM. And this one actually being very much just a loop here. Let's open the other one, see what happens. Okay, but now it's here. And since they are the same BPM, it's really easy to work like this, because I can just start trying to fit them together. That was chaotic. Let's see. Because I can find the key. Okay, it was F. That was fast. Okay, C sharp. So then I guess I can just take all of these sounds, or at least the ones that are not like drum type sounds. I just pitch shift them to be in the same key. So F, we need to go 4 down, I guess. 1, 4, I think. Or am I doing it in the wrong order now? You know, however you want to fit things together, it's just up to you, I guess. This is the thing I do. That became cool! I think this has potential, even though I'm just showing you the bare bones of the possibilities of what you're supposed to do. And this was just a random first example also, which is kind of epic to keep in mind. The fact that there's even this resemblance of them even being able to fit to begin with is surprising. Maybe if I do another example. That's a cool one. That one doesn't really need anything actually. But it's 94 BPM. So if I just take something, I don't know, this is 92 BPM. Okay. cool, then I either have to slow down or speed up. We can listen to it first. It's gonna sound bizarre. Okay, I did a bit of time stretching on this one. Didn't even hear these sounds before. Okay, all of these has to... I mean, this is already starting. It sounds really cool. I'm gonna pull in more sounds. Just mute that all the vocals and stuff. I don't need it. But going from this into the other one more specifically. I mean, there is so much potential here. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you that this is a thing you can do if you didn't know about it. So if you are like me and you start a bunch of projects, consider, and I hope that this, let me know. Try this out and let me know if it fits you. Thank you for watching.